Hello, good day, everyone, and you're welcome to another interesting edition of my podcast where I give my opinion, rants, frustration about everything that's got to do with football, and sometimes I venture into other sports as well. But primarily, I do a lot of my talking on football. And today I'm going to be talking about Arsene Wenger, the current Arsenal manager. Um, well, what sort of brought about this podcast about him is the fact that some few days ago they lost to Manchester City by 3 goals to nil. They lost at home, and 4 days before then they had lost to the same team in the cup final. That's the Carabao Cup final, to be precise. And this is not taking anything away from Manchester City. At the moment, they're arguably the best team in England. They are 16 points or so clear above every other team in the current league on the current league position, and they're probably about 4 or 5 games away from, rounding up the league. So it's better to put their victory in some sort of perspective. They've got arguably the best manager, in my opinion, in the world, and they've got some arrays of plethora of stars in their team. But back to Arsenal and Arsene Wenger. Do I think Arsenal could have put up a fight? Yes. Do I think they have the players to possibly or probably get a victory? Yes, I say yes as well too. So I personally do not think Arsenal are lacking in talent, particularly when you listen to some cross section of soccer fans, and particularly when you listen to the very very famous Arsenal fan TV base. You may be you may be you may be tempted to conclude that Arsenal probably need the overhaul, but I don't think they need the overhaul in terms of players. Now, talking about Arsene Wenger, is one person I respect so much. I've known him way back from the days as a manager in Monaco, and as someone I admire. Particularly, I could recall him being pivotal to who George Opongwe of Liberia became, and also, he was responsible for bringing Victor Ekpeba from RC Liège in Belgium to Monaco as well too. So, and it's raised a lot of talent. So for that reason, he has earned his respect, at least in my books. It's also fair to state for posterity reasons that what Arsenal has become today was as a result of Arsene Wenger as well too, when he joined Arsenal from Nagoya Grampus in Japan to become the manager of Arsenal. He was relatively unknown when he came to England at the time, and Arsenal were at a crossroad at the time, following the dismissal of Bruce Rioch, who just managed Arsenal for about a year. And he came into Arsenal, turned the club around, started attracting some very good French players, and it changed the way Arsenal plays. And I believe the way Arsenal plays is the reason why they have a lot of African followership, particularly in Nigeria. And of course, we know that the signing of Kanu Wankwo as well to probably added another boost, another dimension to why Arsenal tend to have a large fan base in Nigeria. But back to Arsene Wenger, he turned the club around. They started winning trophies. They won his very first or second season. They won the doubles. They won the FA Cup and they won the league as well too. And he's won the league for about 3 times in all. Got Arsenal to into the finals of Champions League in 2006, and the future looked very bright for Arsenal, and they began to take some sort of upward steep in terms of their progression. And the management of Arsenal, the direct at the very top level, decided that, well, in order to be able to compete with Europe, we need to probably move to a bigger stadium. Highbury is an old-fashioned English stadium which is close to the fans thereabout, but they needed a bigger stadium to sort of compete. Well, not necessarily compete, but to have some sort of leverage or to rub shoulders with the big teams of Europe. And on the back of that, they began to build a new stadium, which was opened in 2006. And you would have thought that things would have turned out for the better for the team. But apart from some FA Cups in the last 2-3 years, it doesn't look like the team is progressing in the direction they should be going. Albeit from a financial standpoint, they're doing very well. They're a very stable club, and it is believed among some cross-section of fans that the ownership and the person of Stan Kroenke is only interested in the financial aspect, which is getting his remuneration. So, but the fans, the very passionate ones, want silverwares. And to put that in perspective as well, they want to be challenging for the Premier League. They want to be challenging for the Champions League. But when you look at when you look at where Arsenal is at the moment, it's a far cry from where they ought to be. It seems that the players are not playing for Arsene Wenger anymore. And in a normal crazy world of football, when you begin to pull the strings of lackluster performances that Arsenal have had in the past few years, the manager would have been sacked. But for some reason, it seems Arsene Wenger seems untouchable, and some of the fans are very frustrated. They're divided. Some want him out. Some want him to remain. But I would not want to say whether he needs to be out or not. But one thing is very clear. They need to have a change of direction. Now, whether that change of direction involves Arsene Wenger moving on from the club, that is something that will be decided by the board. But looking at the present things as it is set up, it is almost impossible I wouldn't say it's impossible, but the odds are looking like I think Arsene Wenger will leave on his own accord. And even if he's going to be leaving the club, he will probably be responsible for choosing the next manager of the club and probably move upstairs to take up a directorship position. So that is what it is at the moment with Arsene Wenger. As much as I don't like some of their fans, particularly my fellow Nigerian fans, because they're very, very mouthy, they believe they're the best, and they believe they're the best in the apple ever since sliced bread. Sliced bread came to was it? And after sliced bread, I still think Arsenal needs to be competing very well. And now their neighbours, that's Tottenham Hotspur, seems to be rising up and probably even competing with them favorably well. So that's my opinion on the present state of Arsenal Football Club and Arsene Wenger. But for some of you, you probably want him in, some of you want him out. You can drop me your opinion and let me know what you think regarding Arsene Wenger, whether you want him in or whether you want him out. Just drop me a line on the comment section. And I will come here again to bring in another football topic that is making the round, where I give you my own opinion, the way it is in my heart. Until then, it is Perspective from Oba. Have a nice day.